Namaskar, my dear friends. Let us talk about ADC interface connections. So in this, we will try to learn what is ADC, how to convert ADC values from voltage to ADC bits count or ADC values. We will also see if there is an ADC, how we are going to connect our input signal and what will be the value of output that is converted. This will be seen by either MCU ADCs as well as external ADCs. So as you can see, let us say we have microcontroller. So microcontroller has inbuilt ADCs of let us say 8 bits or 10 bits or 12 bits. We have external ADCs as well from various manufacturers. So external ADCs are much more accurate and even microcontroller ADCs are accurate based on the accuracy that they prefer. However, external ADCs are preferred somewhere for specific applications. Okay, so let us learn about everything that ADC knowledge should have. So let us say if we talk about number of bits, so number of bits means what is the number of bits? Let us say 12 bits or 10 bits or 16 bits or even 24 bits up to 32 bits ADCs has been designed. All right. So the count that it can give you is 2 to the power n minus 1. It means the number of bits is let us say 12. So 2 to the power 12 minus 1, that is it is going to 0 to 4095. Alright. So this is the highest number, highest value that you will get after the ADC converter. Similar to that, you can calculate for other values, other number of bits, not a problem. Alright. Now comes up is V reference. So V reference, what it does is the ADC tells you that you give me an input analog input voltage, but that must be less than or equal to my reference value. Okay, so this reference value corresponds to the highest value. Let us say we have 3 volt reference value and we have 10 bit ADC. It means for 3 volt it is going to correspond to 1023 value. All right, so the value input value must be less than this. That is the understanding. It means the ADC input range must be 0 to full scale range. A full scale range is nothing but your ADC reference. Understood? Now coming back to the calculations, what happens is how to calculate ADC values. So let us say for example we have ADC reference as 3 volt. ADC bits is 12 bits. So what will be the ADC count that will be having? So you are going to have 0 to 4095 by using the formula 2 to the power n minus 1, right? So in that case, I have listed out here for 10 bits, you will be having this count, 12 bits, you will be having this count, and so on. Similar to that, if you want to find out what is the ADC value for a particular input voltage, all right. So let us say we have input voltage of let's say 1.2 volt and it is having 12 bit ADC and V reference is 3 volt. So it means what will happen is this 1.2 volt will correspond to some ADC value that will come up. Okay, so this is how you will calculate your ADC output. Understood? So as this input voltage goes on increasing, so can you observe now if it becomes 3 volt, this 3 volt is there, so input voltage becomes 3 volt, so 3 got cancelled, so you will get maximum value of ADC. If it is input 0, then you will get 0 value, so 0 to 4095 you will get it. Similar to that, your assumption or your requirement would be, what if I have some ADC value but I want to get back the input voltage what it was. Okay, so what was the input voltage that was there, I want to find out. So let us say that is my Vx value we want to find out. So in that case what will happen, we have the ADC value, that is ADC count value, divided by the total count that can be there for this particular bits, that is going to be 4095 multiplied by V reference. Okay, so as you can see for ADC value highest like 4095, the Vx will be equal to V reference, and if ADC value is lower, my V reference into this will be less than 1. It means my Vx will be lesser than V reference. Understood? So why don't we do one thing, I'll just open one Excel sheet and I'll give you quickly a calculation of these ADCs. Alright, so let us say we have 10 bit ADC, so total count will come up as 1023. If you have 12 bit ADC, your total count will come at 0 to 4095. If you have 16 bit ADC, The total account will come up as 65 535. So this is how you can use this particular Excel sheet to convert your ADC counts, right? Now let us say you have the input voltage and you have reference voltage that is fixed. Okay, so let us say for 1.2 volt input, what will be the ADC value? So it depends on the number of bits that you are taking. Okay, so let us work on 12 bit first. Okay, so for 12 bits, what will be the ADC value for 1.2 volt input is, it will be 1638. So as you can see, for 3 volt, it should come up as 4095. So yes, it is coming 4095. Understood? So I'll just keep it as 1.2 volt. So this is how input voltage to ADC value, you have the calculator here. Now let us say you have got some ADC value output and you want to find out what was my input. So the V input calculated will be equal to, let us say 450 units you got ADC value. So what will be the ADC output? Analog output, that will be 0.33 volt. So let us say I should get for 1638, I should get 1.2. So 1638. So this is going to be 1.2 volt output. So these are the three formulas for count, for ADC value, and from ADC value what will be the analog voltage. So you can use this particular sheet as a reference to find out the ADC value calculation, either digital values or analog values, or number of counts that will be there. All right, so this was all about, like ADC calculation. If you want, you can have more understanding of ADC calculation. Let us say first you have ADC value calculation, which is going to be V input into 2 to the power n minus 1 by V reference. So n is nothing but the number of bits that is going to be there. So you can take a screenshot of this particular page to find out how to calculate ADC value or ADC output for a particular analog input. Okay. So you can say here V input is nothing but analog voltage. Analog voltage. Understood? Got it. Next is ADC calculation, the reverse order. Let us say you have some ADC value. So you have analog voltage calculation from digital value. So you have analog voltage calculation, that is, let us say Vx. So from an ADC value multiplied by V reference divided by 2 to the power n minus 1, where n is your number of bits. All right. So this was the two calculation that we did. Now, how do we connect to ADC pin for any like input that we want to measure? Okay. So let us say we have lot of signals that we want to measure. For example, we have, let us say 12 volt or 15 volt or 9 volt or 7 volt, 5 volt, 3.3 volt, 2.5 volt, 1.8 volt, 1.5 volt, 1 volt. Even it can be some other voltage as well, let's say a 0.3 volt. So it doesn't matter what is the voltage that is there, not a problem at all. Our aim must be to understand the voltage that we want to connect to my ADC pin. That must be lower than or equal to my V reference. So for example, I am telling for example, okay, don't consider this as a fixed value of V reference. So let us say for example, we have V reference as 3 volt. My analog voltage must be like going into the ADC pin which is lesser than 3 volt. Okay, V in must be lesser than V reference, so that your design will be better. Understood? Now let us say we have to connect 12 volt to the ADC pin. It means I am going to put a resistor division R1 and R2 such that my VADC1, this node, is going to be lesser than V reference. That is the only thing you have to understand. Now, after that, we will be putting buffers, filters, and then we send it to ADC. Why buffers? Because this current might be very less, so that it may not be able to drive the ADC converter. Okay, so this ADC converter must be driven. So for that, we need to have ample amount of current, like let's say, like 5 milliamperes of current, or 1 to 5 milliampere of current is more than enough, or 1 to 10 milliampere of current is more than enough. If you are having, let us say, 1 microampere, so this is very very less. It may not be able to allow for ADC conversion. So the similar concept you can apply for, let's say, 15 volt, 9 volt, 7 volt, 5 volt, to have resistor division and then send it to buffer and filters and then send it to your ADC. If you have lower voltage, so these voltages can directly be connected to ADC pin because they may not reach more than V reference at all. Okay, so in that case you can connect them directly. So let me give you an example so that you can have a better understanding. Let us say you have to monitor a battery voltage. So battery voltage, what happens is, if it is connected to two resistor divider, let us say R1, this one and R2. Okay. So what will happen is there will be a voltage Vx1 here, which must be lesser than 3 volt, that you have to consider. So this 3 volt is nothing but your V reference. Okay. Now V reference, if you are considering 5 volt, so this must be less than 5 volt. That is the understanding you should have by now. All right. Now let us say we have two resistor division that I have taken here, 390 kilo ohm and 100 kilo ohm. So we are going to get Vx1 as 2.45 volt, okay, which is much closer than 3 volt. Next, 390 kilo ohm and 75 kilo ohms, it is going to be 1.93 volt. So since battery voltage goes higher, so it may be possible that it might reach very close to 3 volts. I'll consider 75 kilo ohm better. Okay, so that's the understanding we should have. Now what happens is, the current that you are going to waste in this line will be a leaking current all the time. So since it is battery, so you don't want to waste lot of current. So for that reason, what will you do? You will connect a higher value of resistor so that you will be wasting lesser amount of current. But this higher value of resistor will reduce the current, and this is not enough to supply the ADC. For that reason, what you will do? You will definitely need to send it to a buffer. So this buffer amplifier will, re-energize the signal, ADC signal input, and that will get it, let's say, in milliamperes range. Okay. So this is how you will be putting it, and then send it to a filter, and then send it to your ADC pin. So this is how the connection will be. I will show it to you all the connections. Similar to that, ADC utilizations are in various locations. Let us say we have temperature sensor output. So there also you need ADCs. We have pressure sensor outputs, there also you need ADCs. We have humidity sensors. Okay, so there also you will require ADCs. Even lot of other sensors are also there, right? So let us say one example circuit, I'll show it to you how it works. So let us say we have to monitor a voltage which is VDD. Let us say 3.3 volt is there. So we have to monitor through an ADC. So what will be the process that we should do? Alright, so what we can do is we can go for a resistor division, and this VCC ADC input is the node that is there going to a buffer. So let us say we are going to use one ADC which is one op amp which is ADA 4528-2. Then this is acting as a buffer. Send it to a low pass filter, okay, RC low pass filter, and then send it to your ADC. So this is how very nicely you are monitoring your, like a voltage level that you want to monitor. Another process will be, let's say you don't need a buffer, your ADC signal is having good enough current. So this ADC3 input can directly send to ADC by just going through a a low pass filter. Okay. Otherwise what happens sometimes is you have one ADC, but you don't need any resistor divider. This ADC voltage level is well below your reference voltage. Okay, so in that case directly you connect it to your buffer and then send it to your low pass filter and then send it to your ADC. All right, so this is how you can do that. If you don't need low pass filter, you don't have to connect it, you can directly send it to your ADC pin as well. So let us say we use this particular circuit in one of the microcontroller system design, which was with a PIC 16F 46Q71. So like this, there are various other examples that we will show it to you in your next session. However, the understanding must be like this: you have ADC from microcontroller, so you have to connect it to your ADC input at this pin, right? Similar to that, this can be any FPGA as well, and FPGA also has an ADC converter pin, which where you need to send it to your ADC measurement signal. Otherwise, the other scenario can be you have an external ADC converter which has ADC voltage input here, and data will be coming out. So this data and some other signals are also there, like clock signal, chip select signal, and all those things, like an SPI interface. So this SPI interface can get connected to have SPI interface with either microcontroller or FPGA or something like this. Okay. So good guys, hope you have a good understanding. Now in this next session, what we'll do is we'll try to give you various application circuit with different sensors, as we explained you, like pressure sensor, temperature sensors, and I mean humidity sensor. So all these sensors, how ADCs are connected, and what are the various applications of ADC input pin, that will show it to you. So hope you have now a very good understanding of how to start with ADC voltage division, how to send it to a buffer, then how to design a particular low pass filter, and what is the process of calculation of ADC voltage levels, and ADC values. All these things you have an understanding. Thank you.